Welcome to More Love, More Heart. I'm Noah Wiesenek. I lead creator partnerships for Snapchat. I'm thrilled to be representing Snapchat today and introducing this session with Damar Hamlin, the Chasing M's Foundation, and the American Heart Association. For those of you who came to this session and no idea who Damar Hamlin is, and just for the CPR training, I really commend you. For those who came to this session for Damar and to learn more about CPR awareness, I commend you too, because that's what we're here today. And as Damar says, to all be superheroes. And so excited for everyone to walk out of this room today being another superhero in the Gotham City. So for those who don't know Damar, he was selected by the Bills in the 6th round, 212th overall of the 2021 NFL Draft. He graduated from Pittsburgh in 2020 after playing 4 seasons of college ball, and more importantly, he earned his bachelor's degree in communications. Since experiencing cardiac arrest on January 2nd, 2023 on the field during a nationally televised game, Damar's foundation, Chasing M's, has launched programs to empower youth, inspire people facing adversity, and raise awareness of the need for CPR training and AEDs to help save lives. In just 20 months, his Chasing M's CPR tour has traveled the nation and gone abroad, providing direct hands-only CPR training through the American Heart Association for more than 1,000 people and giving more than $650,000 worth of AEDs to communities in need. As a result of being an ambassador for the American Heart Association, more than 3 million people have been inspired to learn more about CPR through online education. And after convening leaders on Capitol Hill in support of the Access to AEDs Act, Damar has advocated for legislative change that is now taking place in many states to require CPR education and AEDs to protect kids. Thank you, Damar. And today, we just left Snapchat a few moments ago. Chasing M's partnered with Snapchat not only to bring this training today to Advertising Week New York, but earlier today, we trained over 100 Snapchat employees, some of our friends in the creator community that are here as well, in our NYC office with hands-on life-saving skills, just like we will do in a few short moments today. And Snapchat and Chasing M's provided AEDs to local tri-state area youth football programs, which was the highlight for me of the day. That was a lot of fun, Damar.
That was dope. That was dope.
So I wanted to kick off this session a little bit with a few questions for Damar. And the first one is just a thank you for spending your off day with us. And before we get started, I'm a diehard New York Jets fan. And there's a pretty big game coming up on Monday. It's also been quite an interesting day for the Jets. When Damar showed up at the office today, the Jets had just fired their head coach about 2 minutes before he walked in the door. So tell us, what's the game plan for Monday night?
Well, first, I thank you for that intro. I wish I could save it and put it on my doorbell or something when somebody pulls up to the crib. But I can't give you the secret sauce for the game plan.
All right. But we have a 40-year-old quarterback, so just like two-hand touch if you're anywhere near him on Monday night.
I think A-Rod can handle it.
All right, well, let's talk about football. But, because it's your day off, I don't want to talk about NFL football since you'll get back to the facility tomorrow. Let's talk about the youth football programs and some of the folks like the Harlem Jets and the Red Raiders from Brooklyn that joined us earlier today. And tell us a little bit about the work you do across the country with youth football programs, and tell us a little about providing AEDs to under-resourced communities.
It's been amazing. Today, to get around the Brooklyn Chiefs and to meet some of the kids and just to see the warm welcome that they gave me was special. And, my foundation has always been about youth empowerment and saving generations to come. That was kind of our initial mission. I was a young kid who grew up in a community with a lot of examples of what not to do. And I always aspired to, push myself to be where I am today to, show the kids in my community that this is what we can be, this is what we can become. And, big kudos to my dad, who's in the crowd as well. He was a big part of starting that mission and, showing us the way. And, it carried on into me, and I wanted to be that example for the next generation. And to fast forward to today, to be able to, be making an impact in the heart health space as well. Like you said, giving away $650,000 worth of AEDs. That's just kind of, being able to grow through what I go through. And I think that's something I've always just tried to use within my life. But, to be able to provide those kids organizations with AEDs so that they can play safely and be able to continue to chase their dreams as well. I know the impact that it makes, and obviously because I was affected by it, but even if they don't understand, it truly goes a long way, and it makes me feel like I'm leaving a legacy way bigger than football.
Amazing. When we met, you had just come from Fashion Week in Milan, and you talked a little bit about pursuing passions outside of football while you're still playing football. And you look way more dapper than me, although thank you for offering me one of these sweatshirts. I will wear it proudly around the city. I'm interested to hear a little bit more about your passions outside of football, and if you could talk a little bit about what you're pursuing right now besides playing safety for the Buffalo Bills.
So over the summer, I got my first time to get introduced into Fashion Week. I sat front row at a bunch of shows, got to get my feet wet on the fashion scene. Next year, I plan on walking in some shows, and I've had a clothing brand since 2017 in college, which is a unique story of how that started. So that was after my freshman season of football in college. I dealt with 3 surgeries, 3 injuries, a little bit of more adversity on my journey, but I never knew if opportunity was going to meet the preparation to make it to the NFL. So I had to, get business savvy and, be able to keep myself afloat. And I had a slogan that I was using on my journey, of football to continue to, use to make it to the NFL. And it was chasing M's, which means chasing millions. And, that moment of dealing with those surgeries and not knowing if I was going to be able to make it to the NFL, I'm like, I got to do something, and I was always into clothing. So I ran to the mall, slapped my logo on a T-shirt, went back to practice with it, and, all my teammates loved it. And then from there, I've just been running with the brand since, and now I've named my foundation after it. And, so I've always been into clothing as well, and, always been into philanthropy. And I think a new passion I'm having is DJing. I think I want to DJ as well.
Amazing. We'll have to have you DJ a Snapchat party coming up soon.
Hey, don't tempt me with a good time.
So it's advertising week. We have a room full of advertising professionals here, and we couldn't be more excited to get them all trained up around CPR awareness with the AHA. After all, this session is called More Love, More Heart, and at Snapchat, that's what we're all about. More love and less likes. And as everyone can see on the screens, I believe, somewhere in the room, we just launched our AR Heart Lens together, giving Snapchatters a chance to share their support for the Chasing M's Foundation and Damar. But before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about, how can folks in the room who are inspired by your story in today's training get their companies involved like we did at Snapchat today, training employees, bringing in folks from the community to participate in that training, and ultimately walking out with life-saving devices and life-saving skills. Anyone who's interested in partnering with you after this session, can you just talk a little bit about what the right approach would be to get in touch with you guys and expanding on your corporate partnerships?
Well, yeah, like you said today, the CPR tour has, over the last 20 months, we've been able to, go all across the country, even go international to London and, do so many amazing things. And, today being able to do our first corporate partnership with Snapchat and being able to, train internally was something that we've envisioned for a long time, but to be able to make it reality was amazing. So I think, being able to get in touch with my team, reaching out through the website, the ChasingThemsFoundation.com. And I think just to be able to go out and be able to get into more corporations and do what we did today, I think will be very impactful. At the end of the event today, I'm not sure of his specific job title, but the guy who was explaining the emergency evacuation plan, came up to me and told me that he commends me on the work that we do because there was only 5 people within his staff that was CPR trained. And, it was kind of like a back worry of his, but to be able to train all of the employees internally, it made him rest assured, that people were trained if an emergency was to happen. So, I think through my foundation, we just want to give everybody that security. And, we just can't wait to see how much more growth that we can make.
Amazing. Can't wait to see what you guys do, expanding more corporate partnerships, and really happy and proud to partner with you today. So thank you so much. This has been a really awesome day and really impactful day for our community, our colleagues, and our friends and family. And now I want to welcome Nancy Brown, Chief Executive Officer at the American Heart Association, and Allison Elliott, Master CPR Educator at the American Heart Association,
The GOAT.
to help us all show more love to our friends, our family, and our communities by being better prepared to save lives.
Thank
Nancy.
you so much. Thank you all for coming. And I just have a few words to say before I turn it over to Allison. I am Nancy Brown, CEO of the American Heart Association. What an honor to be here today, especially with my dearest friend, Damar. Life throws many unexpected things the way of people, and people can decide how they will handle it. And I have just been in awe of Damar and his entire amazing family. I don't see Mario. I know he's here somewhere.
Right
oh,
there.
I see him. There he is. Damar's parents, Mario and Nina, his younger brother, Damir, they are family to the AHA. And because together, the Chasing M's Foundation and the American Heart Association are on a mission to make sure that everyone deserves and has access to the exact same type of response that Damar had when his situation occurred. And so today we're happy that you're participating in CPR training, because if you just shut your eyes for a moment and be honest with yourself, would you know what to do if someone in your family, in your workplace, at your place of worship, at your child's sports game had an event? Would you know what to do? And would you know how to handle it? That's our mission. That's what Damar and I are doing together. We are on a mission to make sure that everyone would know what to do. And we thank you for being here. Allison Elliott on our team is a master trainer, and she's going to equip all of you with the skills. Thank you again for coming. Chasing M's and the American Heart Association are so proud and so thankful to SNAP for bringing us here today. Thank you. Allison, we're going to bring you up. And
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Mark.
walk off this.
So thank you all for being here today. As they just talked about, what an incredible thing you all are going to be able to do is learn to save a life in a few short minutes. I'm going to take you through how to do compressions, how to quickly use an AED, and hopefully when you leave here today, if you didn't already know, you're going to feel confident to help in a situation. You never know when this is going to happen to you. And one of our statistics is 70% of out-of-hospital cardiac arrests happen in the home. So most likely the person that you may have to save is a loved one. It's an awful situation to be in, not knowing what to do. So I applaud you. We're going to take you through a quick demonstration, and then we've got some mannequins that we brought with us that really give you the chance to feel how hard it is to do compressions, because it is hard. We're going to set them up over here. So I'm going to encourage every single one of you, just take a couple minutes as you walk out and try a couple compressions. Feel what it feels like. That's why we're going to have these set up. We've got instructors here to help. So after you watch the demonstration, take some time. That's why we're here. We want you to feel confident when you walk out. So one other statistic I want to share is 63% of Americans don't feel comfortable doing something if they were to encounter something like this. So think about that. That many people don't even have a chance, right? Probably only 40% will actually react and help. So all the rest of those people, no chance at all. They're going to die. Statistics show only 10% right now survive. But if we can create what we're calling our nation of lifesavers and train all of these people, everybody's going to have the chance that Damar had. Because we all will know what to do, and we can step in, do compressions until help arrives. That's all we're asking. When someone goes down from a cardiac arrest, their heart stops. You have to step in and be that heart. So we're going to do hands only. People say, well, don't we do breaths anymore? How can you just do hands only? So when people go down from a sudden cardiac arrest, they're just like all of us here today. We're breathing, we have oxygen flowing through our bodies. If they go down, their bloodstream is still filled with oxygen. So hands only, just doing compressions, is going to keep circulating that oxygenated blood for at least the first few minutes. It helps. And we can train so many more, hundreds of people in such a short amount of time than when I do compressions and breaths. We still do compressions and breaths. You need it in situations like drug overdose or choking, drowning, things like that where they've not been breathing. It's super important to still do breaths. But if we can train more people like this, think of the lives we can save, more memories we can create, right? It's so easy, and you're going to see how. So the first thing, if you guys came across someone that's down, possible cardiac arrest, the first thing I want you to do is make sure the scene is safe. Don't put yourself in danger. So you just look around, make sure the scene is safe. Then you're going to come down to the person and you're going to tap pretty hard. Are you okay? Are you okay? See if there's any kind of response. If there's no response, you've got to get help on the way. Cell phone, 911, put it on speaker, or yell. Hey, you in the leopard shirt, call 911 and get an AED. Okay? Direct them. In a situation like this, it's chaotic, so you've got to take control. Tell somebody, call 911, get an AED. The last thing is just to quickly check for breathing. If you see no chest rise for about 5 seconds, we're going to start compressions. So I want you guys to do this with me. Let's just walk through this, okay? Everybody say, scene is safe. Tap and shout. Hey, are you okay? Say, are you okay? Are you okay? Now yell for help. Help, help.
Help. I need some help.
Tell me, in the red shirt, call 911, get an AED. Everybody. Okay, and then check for breathing. As easy as that. Then we're going to start compressions. So with compressions, you can see how they're down on their knees. You need to be on a firm, flat surface. You place the heel of one hand in the center of the chest. Everybody feel how your rib cage comes up to a point? That's kind of weak right there. So I need you to be a couple inches above that in the hard part of the sternum. That's where I want your hand. So the heel of one hand, the other one on top. You keep your arms straight and you bend at the waist. It's hard work. You've got to push hard, 2 inches deep at a rate of 100 to 120 beats per minute. You're like, what the heck does that mean? You know that song, Staying Alive? It is correct. It's a great message, and it works. That's the right beat. We're just going the same rate as a heartbeat. Every time you do the compression, you allow the chest to come back up. It fills back up with that oxygenated blood. You push it back out. So we're just keeping that oxygen going to the brain, keeping them alive until EMS can get there. Give us a chance. That's all we're asking. Okay? So these guys are going to do, let's do about 30 compressions so they can see. These mannequins have clickers. If you go that depth, you're going to be able to hear. See, it's just that nice da, 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 da. If we're going too fast, we're not allowing the heart to fill back up with enough blood to really make it worth it. You've got to go that nice, normal rate, right? Super easy as that. So that's compressions. Now, quickly, I'm going to just quickly discuss AEDs. They're really, really important, and they are probably the best chance of survival. They're not scary. So many people in the public are afraid of them. It means automated external defibrillator. Usually when the heart goes into cardiac arrest, it starts fibrillating, and it cannot move the blood and the oxygen around the body. So this AED comes in, we place the pads, it sends a shock through the heart and hopefully gets it back to its normal rhythm. If they're used in the first few minutes of a cardiac arrest, chances of survival skyrocket if it's a shockable rhythm. They're there. They're in the airports. They're in malls. They're in stores. They're everywhere. Just start realizing where they are, because if you can use that, we can really raise the chance of survival. The big thing I want you to remember with AEDs is you just turn them on and they tell you what to do. You don't even have to know. You don't have to know. If you guys have never seen them before, turn them on. They walk you through. You turn it on. It tells you to place the pads. They have pictures on the pads that show you exactly where they go. One goes on this top shoulder, one goes on this left side. The shock goes from pad to pad right through the heart. That's what it's trying to do, to restart it, okay? So let's listen to this and you can see how easy this sounds. They've got some simulators here. They're going to practice putting the pads on.
Remove pads from package and apply to patient's bare chest.
and this is just like a real AED. It walks you through this.
Apply pads to patient's bare chest as shown in the picture. Plug in pads connector.
So once you're ready, if they're not already connected, otherwise they're gonna
Plug-in
already
connector.
tell you. Listen to what it says.
Do not touch the patient. Analyzing heart rhythm. Do not touch the patient. Analyzing heart
It's looking
rhythm.
for a shockable rhythm.
Shock advised. Charging.
It charges.
Stay clear of patient.
Everybody clear?
Deliver shock now. Press the shock delivered. Start CPR.
Right? How easy is that, right? So easy. You don't have to be afraid of these. This is exactly what, they're all a little bit different. They all look a little bit different, but they all act the exact same way. Just turn them on and follow directions. Look at the pictures and place them on the person and try to give the shock. These will stay on. Every 2 minutes, it will try to do another shock. If it says analyzing, stay clear. You pull up. You just keep doing that until help arrives. Easy as that, right? How many minutes? 10 minutes, maybe 5? We got you through that. So what we're going to do is take some time, if you guys, to let you all have a chance. We're going to put some mannequins here. We'll probably have some here. And we want you guys to come take a chance to try this, okay? Do this for us. That's why we're here. You never know when this is going to happen, and you'll want to know. You'll want to know how hard this is because many people think, I'm going to hurt them. I'm going to break their ribs or something. If you do nothing, they're going to die. You cannot hurt them. They can heal from broken ribs. They can heal from their cartilage cracking, okay? All right, so do this for us. Yes. Okay, so we're going to set some mannequins here. And just take some time, please, as you walk out. Just give us a couple compressions. The instructors and I are going to be here. You can ask questions, and then you can file out. Thank you so much for being here with us today.